SHT's master training program. We have about 432. And in this master training program, our experts are going to train the faculty. How can this simulation element trained? Because all the nursing educational institutions may not be able to have a high-fidelity simulation.
Is a composition of more than 90% within the diploma salary structure and requiring diploma level or low below certificate still remain as a support service. Update on pay negotiation and development regarding the condition of the employment for nurses in your country. 90% of nurses in Malaysia still receive a diploma salaries and only 10% receive degree salary.
Actually, we saw a lot of strain on our healthcare system. Not only nurses, I believe a lot of our healthcare colleagues are also affected by this. And I'm sure your hospital, just like Singapore, the hospital waiting time and the bed occupancy has surged. We've never seen such, situation literally our nursing career. We also have what we call a National Center for Infectious Disease, which I would like to say, I'm not sure whether fortunately or unfortunately was open before the pandemic.
Almost total coverage of our national health insurance of our nation's population. Our national health expenditure is only 6.7% of our GDP. So there's more that we can go about that.
In Asia, how every country has been doing in raise the pay for nurses and change the working conditions. With all this profile we get, I think we will have the opportunity to demonstrate how we can, that government know and make the promise on how to invest.
Thank you. Very, very interesting. I know if our colleagues were here from South Korea, not that I speak on behalf of them, but the board were in Seoul at the end of, in November last year, and there's been huge work which ANA have been doing to try and get Nursing Act or legislation, but the work has had to be very, very active in relation to their elected politicians and through their parliament as well, and they're making some progress, but it's at that level. Singapore.
Okay, I think for us, for Singapore Association, we have been working very closely with our being in the same world, and I think we are quite confident that everybody will care for us. I think one of the key things that we also do, for example, the protection of COVID. We have highlighted the role of the nurses. That lobby a lot of so-called support in legal sectors, including now the lot of good progress that actually intensify the focus on the nurses. For example, either or to the politician or even to the family support. So you highlighted the need of the nurses in Singapore. Of course, different countries have different models. But for us, I think this model have working collaboration in the key stakeholders. We don't have very political collaboration, but I think as a whole, as a country, but the question I think for us is to see people know that what is nurses do.
Existing nursing students with our nursing faculty, so this is a big shortage of nursing faculty, and more nursing faculty. The shortage of nursing faculty is affect the nursing education system and the quality of the system that we are aware of. There is a specific strategy to seriously solve this issue by increasing nursing faculty, but we didn't have the enough support from the government. It will become vicious cycle for nursing workforce soon as well. So we try to recruit registered nurse from the service sector who hold at least master degree to become the faculty. However, there is a small proportion, the shortage of faculty is still remain. However, the increasing requirement of increasing shortage has both challenges and opportunities. A lot of both public and private schools start nursing school now. That's why we are really rapidly increase of nurses. So we propose, from the 3 organizations that, in that case, the reimbursed from National Health Security Organization should provide public-private partnership. So,
thank you to all of you. I thought they were incredibly rich reports. You've done a lot of work, which I think on behalf of all of us, we really appreciate the detail, the information, and I know that a number of you will want to talk to each other about various initiatives. I was struck clearly, as we expect, the impact of the pandemic, what that has been on the nursing workforces in your countries. But I think this sense of both the threats and the opportunities came through very, very strongly. Obviously, issues around, the disruption to education, the need to scale up, shortage seemed to be at the heart of much of what you were talking about. But then opportunities around pay, working conditions, around safe staffing levels, some interesting innovations, the use of simulation, how important that was as well, but also the development of nurse-led roles in terms of nurse-led clinics, the One Village policy that I heard as well, very, very clear how in your countries nursing being recognised, healthcare or the UHC as well. So those are just some immediate reflections for me, but I have a question. I just want a show of hands on, please. And then I've got another question if there are some responses to give them on the show of hands. I know that you all know the global strategic directions for nursing and midwifery, how important that is. What I want to get a sense of is, are the strategic directions well known in your country by your policymakers as well? When you're having these discussions about what you need to do to support the development of the nursing profession, to deal with some of the threats in your country, are your policymakers or your politicians, are they aware of the strategic directions for nursing and midwifery globally? Do they mention that? Do they talk about that? So it's a level of awareness of the strategic directions. If you think that there is a good level of awareness of the strategic directions in your country, put your hand up. So India, Chinese nurses, okay, and from the Philippines as well. Okay, that's an important takeaway for us, for our WHO colleagues as well, because what you're talking about, education, leadership, decent work, service delivery, are all absolutely at the heart of the strategic direction. So, and governments are going to be asked to report back for lunch. Those of you who, and there is a lot of progress here, there are a lot of examples that you've given where you've moved forward and you've clearly got support. What I was just interested in, where you have examples of where you've made progress, what have been the arguments or the evidence that you think have been most influential in getting your policymakers to shift and to move?
World Conference in Taiwan. So fortunately, we have invited so many experts in disaster nursing to Taiwan. So we have the chance to visit her campus. So I finally got, wow, in military nursing curriculum, they put this all in their curriculum, but not all for our nursing students. So
研修をやったり、日常的なところでは訓練をやったりっていうとこ
トをしております。
So now we have a disaster support nurse. This is led by a Japanese Nursing Association and the Prefecture Nursing Association. Usually both the associations come together to provide the opportunity for them to receive the training to become a disaster support nurse.
6年の4月、6年というのは2000
And also to receive the training as a disaster support nurse in 2024.
Okay, this is just a thought. For example, for nurses, I think the nurses respond to disasters in different capacities. We support resources to a bigger response. The question that I try to put forward, right, is not related to Singapore as an NNA, is that will the NNA in the country or the affected countries initiate certain nurse-led intervention? The reason because I work in the healthcare sectors. Many of the time when we do the response, we build the capacities, there will be probably some funding out there to support. While we have a role in disaster response, actively doing the active response, then there will be a lot more possibilities for funders to be interested to fund the nurses during the peace time to build the capabilities. So the food of thought is that, for us as an NNA in the countries, if there's a situation happen, because COVID has proven for us that we can work together. As NNA in the countries, we have not done the NNA within the region itself.
Okay. Professor?
Just one thing from me before we break for lunch. If there are any associations who have been thinking about hosting the next meetings next year, who haven't spoken to me yet, do that during lunch, because I will feed back straight after lunch. So this is your last opportunity to talk to me about that. Thank you.
At least again in that context, I will tell many of the nursing professionals, the nurses and midwives could become WRs. I think in my zero reason itself, Thailand do one the zero, and the latest she became the deputy country. Both are from Thailand. I think Thailand has to be proud of that. They have produced the WRs. So, but we have that an opportunity, because at least when Dongawade was there as the WR India, she could push many of the nursing in Bangladesh. So at least WHO, they recognize the value and commitment of the work the nurses and midwives.
やはりそれぞれの国からの要望がないと正式な配置はしていただけないというふうに思いますので。
So I think I really understand the necessity of having a regular position of she and nursing officer in Upro. But in order to realize that, we need demand, request